Do you feel on your weight loss journey you could go to a buffet?
Depends on the buffet.
It depends on what point in my weight loss journey. If I could have at the beginning, I could not have. I didn't have the discipline, but now So for me, my diet consists more of a lifestyle than a diet, but I live off the 80-20 rule. And so if I eat the right things 80% of the time, then if I realize that I didn't put on the 60 pounds in one day, one meal is not going to devastate everything that I do. I'll start again on Monday. And every week it was like, I'll start again on Monday. Now I'm just like, okay, I indulged, like Easter just happened. I indulged on Easter, but you know what I did the very next meal? I went back to eating the stuff that I'm supposed to eat, and I just try to regulate it. But in my life, I have not being able to go to a buffet wouldn't have been a realistic thing for me to do, specifically at the beginning of my fitness journey.
So what would you say at any one point, the idea of, okay, guys, let's all go to a buffet, okay? What did you envision in your mind? What is the internal talk that would cause you to hesitate to go to a buffet?
So before, it was, especially like at the beginning, it's like, man, I know that I'm going to not have the willpower to stop myself, and I'm going to eat myself to the point of where I'm now it's like, do I want to feel like crap? Because a big part now is I more fuel myself for whenever I go to the gym. Now on my off days, I'm not as critical about what I eat, but on the days that I do go to the gym, I can tell the difference if I've eaten really, really, really crappy versus if I've eaten moderately okay. Which I am not the poster child for eating perfect, but I try. Like I'm conscious of it at least. But those are the two shifts. Before it was I'm going to be miserable, and now it's I'm going to regret it when I go to the gym.
Well, see, my issue is I'm an overeater by nature. I eat extremely fast, and that was drilled into me thanks to the military, and that's something I've carried over into my civilian life. So every time the wife and I go out to dinner, I'm always the first one done eating. Mm-hmm. And I tend to eat extremely quickly, so by the time I'm done eating my entire meal, I'm still hungry. So if I go to a buffet, I tend to overindulge, even if I'm getting the healthier options on the buffet, whether it's salmon and broccoli or something of that sort. I'm still going to overindulge in the healthy foods, which is still counteractive to eating healthy.
Because you're eating a volume, even though it's healthy, it's still volume, is what you're saying. Some people have a mindset, and I don't know if either you have experienced this, but they look at the price and they say, I am paying X amount for this evening. We're not going to call it meal because it's a buffet, right? But it is. So I better not eat for like 24 hours because I know I'm going to blow my brains out at the buffet because it costs X amount of dollars and I have to get my money's worth.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a big one I hear a lot. And the others that you've just mentioned. But here's a mind shift. Just one. I mean, we all have it and we can all deal with it. And that's what we help people do is strategize in different scenarios, right? But here's just a little way of curbing your mindset in this. You are paying for choice. You're paying for choice. Yeah. You're not paying for volume. You are paying for choice. So when I go to, I like salads. I know that sounds really corny and all that kind of stuff, but I do. It's, you got to rinse the vegetables, you got to coordinate everything, put it together. When I don't have to do yay. Yeah. So I'm going to go to that because somebody's done all the prep. Sounds like a good deal. I love it. So I'm not a huge fan of cream soups just because I find that after I eat too much of it later on, it bothers my stomach. So I just naturally like broth. So I know when I go to a buffet, I can have a cup of 2 different kinds or 3 different kinds. None of them are really going to raise my blood sugar. None of them are really going to pack up any weight. I look at it as I have the freedom. Somebody else has done the prep. And I can have a little bit of fish, a lot of salad, maybe not a full serving of fish, not a full serving of beef. And I have one meal, but I have the luxury of mix and matching a healthy. Really, if you can't, how many times have you gone out for dinner and someone said, am I going to have the fish? No. I'm going to have beef because I have beef. Oh, no, the chicken's probably a better choice for me. And they can't make up their mind. Then you get people collectively deciding to share. you order this and you order that. Well, there's a buffet, right? So the buffet, you don't have to spend extra on side dishes. You don't have to there's the clue. Although we think we have to overeat, you now are paying for. That's it. Arming yourself with the mindset is the first thing you do when you go.